Raju, Shivoham, Mutkula Anand, Ashok Chotwani, Shivashankar and Veena, Shivoham Rais, Sagai Raj, Dattatray, Bisham, Girishamma, Dipti, Rishikesh and Girish. Shivoham and welcome to the call. Gaurish, Bridget, Siva, Gautam, Krishna Sharma, Karthik, and rest of you. I don't see you, but I welcome you all to the call. My dear friends, today somebody sent a strange message to me and I just forwarded it to you. Life is such a special gift. Are you making your life lift? And so I wanted to ask you all this question, and I found some interesting questions. Life is a beautiful gift to us. And what is important to realize that this gift of life is very short. It comes and it goes. Are we making our life lift means, are we actually taking our life up and up and up into the realms of spirituality? That's why they talk about samsara as sinking. Are you sinking in samsara? This is what people talk about. So there are two different ways. Whenever you talk about God, you look at the sky. Do you look at the gutter? When you talk about God, you look down. You don't look down. You look like God is up in the sky somewhere. Anything beautiful, you look up into the skies, in the stars. Are you making your life lift? Life is such a beautiful gift. Some people don't realize that this life is very valuable, and why we do these Ask Air sessions every day is to basically understand the value of life, right? Understand who are we, why are we here, what is the purpose of our life, what have we to do before it's time to go, to realize that it's just a show, that nothing is real, we come without anything, we go without anything. It all appears very philosophical. But the fact is that this is the reality of life, that we are chasing things which will not belong to us. What are we chasing these things for? In the end, nothing will be ours. When are we going to realize this? When the whistle blows? No, when the whistle will blow, it will be time to go. And therefore, I leave this to you. Life is a beautiful gift. How are you living life? I'm giving you this question because it's a Sunday evening. It's a little lighter subject for you. Are you actually happy living a spiritual life? How is spirituality helping you to live a happier life? Or do you think, some people think that if you are spiritual, you are giving up all the pleasures of life? Is it true? Is it true that when you are spiritual? No, it's in fact, it's the opposite. That when you're not spiritual, you are caught in these the rut of this world. So I'm leaving the opening question to you for your comments about spirituality, about life being a gift. And because you are spiritual, is it giving you a lift? Or do you feel it is making you sink down? Are you feeling depressed? Are you feeling it difficult? Some people tell me it's difficult to be spiritual. So I want to understand, is it difficult? Do you find it a challenge? So over to you, some comments, please. We have questions already coming in. Anybody would like to give a comment before we start questions?
Yes, sir, Avinash here.
Yes, Avinash.
Yeah. In spirituality, learning from you, live life moment by moment. So without spirituality, like in present also, like it's past present tense, or in future we live in like future present tense, never live in present tense. So with spirituality, it's always bringing the life in present moment, and that's where we are lifting up, right? No worry of future and no worry about what has happened in the past. So
very good.
yeah. And the one more thing that, like, from the best learning from you is the fourth factor, like living in the unknown and experience that and enjoy that. So that is one of the best things in spirituality. We are knowing that we are don't have control and enjoying that unknown factor. is again a lift. Yeah.
So it's very good to reach that level.
Yeah.
That what you're saying is called the art of acceptance. When something happens, there are two things, two ways to react. No, Avinash, suppose you don't accept, then what do you become? You become depressed. Something is happening, you can't accept it. Oh, I am so unhappy. I was forced to like this. Somebody forced me like this. Somebody pushed me like this. No. If you realize there is a fourth factor, if you realize there is a law of karma, and some things are happening which is beyond your control, you just accept it. And you do your best with whatever you can. And like you said, live in the moment. Who knows what is tomorrow? Why? The mind will always take us to tomorrow, right? The mind is ready to jump. The mind doesn't want to be in the present moment. Remember, this is the challenge. I'm just telling you something which I hope you will capture, all of you. In the present moment, there is no mind. In the present moment, there's only consciousness. The moment the mind comes, it will jump to the past that is gone, or the future not yet born. The mind does not know to sit in the present moment. So therefore, sometimes you want to know whether you are using your mind. If you are in the present moment, then there's no mind. Mind will not sit. Mind doesn't know the meaning of present moment. So lovely, lovely point, Avinash. Thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Rekha's name.
Rekha, what's the comment?
It's a challenge, but being spiritual is a boon and the best thing to happen to us.
So Rekha says it's a challenge, but it's just being spiritual is a boon. It's the best thing to happen to us. You saw just now how Avinash came about with an amazing thought. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thinking, right? How to be in the present moment. You think it's easy? Oh, it's very difficult because the mind is constantly like a jumping like a monkey. Have you seen a monkey? Have you ever seen a monkey sitting quietly for 5 minutes? Just show me. Show me one monkey you have seen in this world sitting quietly for 5 minutes. They can't sit quietly for 30 seconds. That's how the mind is. That's why I call it the monkey mind. The monkey mind is always jumping from thought to thought. Okay, good. So are we going on to questions? Ashok,
Sirji, I have a question.
Yes, Ashok. Please be ready. I'm coming back to you in a moment. Ashok Chotwani is saying?
To live life, I am living moments by moment.
Good. To lift life, Ashok Chotwani says, to lift life, I am living life moment by moment. Lovely. So that is all this is very good. And because Bridget says something, because these are the learnings of spirituality. And when we are talking about life, it's all about spirituality, right? Every day here, we are not talking about how to make hot samosas or how to make pav bhaji. No, we are not talking about it. We do not entertain such questions. We only entertain questions about life. Bridget says,
Here, I find it helpful day by day. It allows my being to have respite from all the ideas when I relax with God.
good. So Bridget says, spirituality lets me be in that state of being, spending that moments in silence with the Lord. So this is what Bridget says. Thank you, Bridget, for your thoughts. Okay, Ashok Nichani, your question, please. Ashok Nichani. Is Ashok there? Ashok? We can't
Sirji,
hear you.
it's not audible.
No, now it's
Yes, Sirji, I'm not able to hear you also.
Now we can hear you and we can see you now. I hope you can.
Okay, Shivam, Sirji.
Shivam, bolo Ashok.
Sure, Sirji, I'm connected to the temple from the very starting of the temple. And I come there regularly. And I've been connected with you from the last quite a few years. I've learned quite a lot, Sirji. And my life is changing because of your spirituality and all what we learn from there. My life is changing. So I'm blessed a lot.
So you have a question or no?
No, I wanted to just tell you that.
Okay, thank you. But do you know why your life is changing? Do you know why?
Yes, Sirji.
Why?
Trying to get connected to the divine.
Correct. But that is not enough. What is the reason that your life is changing?
Because devoting time to spirituality.
Ashok, your life is changing because of what I call the twin karma. Your life is changing because of twin karma. Twin karma means the karma of the past, which is giving you an opportunity to do what you're doing, and the karma of the present, which is creating new karma.
To get
So remember, the cause of this grace and this special blessing for you is what we call the twin karma. One karma, Ashok, you cannot do anything about. One karma you have done in the past. It's over. Only what you can
Okay,
do
sir.
now is your present karma. And
Yes, sir.
Ashok, the goal is now, if you want to make your life lift, right? The goal is to
Yes.
go beyond karma.
Beyond karma. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
the goal is to transcend karma, to go beyond karma.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, Ashok. Next
Thank you,
question.
sir.
Gautam, question, please.
Shiva, ma'am,
Shivoham.
I have one comment and two questions.
Yes.
First comment is about the question what you asked today. I had learned before I was not attending any classes of yours. I learned now I learned about how to live happy at moment by moment.
Okay.
So I don't think about tomorrow and yesterday how to be happy. I live happy today. Now it's left.
Very good.
Second, I know about the karma, what comes and what I know exactly about the karma. So before something happens to me, I was in tension why it's happening. So now after attending the enlightenment class, I just surrender. I just accept it. Good or bad, I just accept it. I don't get in tension. I'll just live happy. This is my command. And so the question is yesterday when I was discussing about enlightenment with my sister's husband. So from my side, he only knows that we are the divine power, but he had not realized it. So he was telling me that there is no rebirth. He told me. So I don't know. So he told me that there is no rebirth. Once we die, our soul becomes one with air, right? So he told that if there is no bad karma, then why there is a reborn? That is my
Okay.
question.
So if there is no rebirth, then the question is, when we die, where do we go? Is there some heaven somewhere up in the skies? So there's obviously, when we say they passed away, the question to answer is, if there is no rebirth, then where do we go? We go somewhere.
Yeah, he told me that with this the soul becomes one with air. He told.
No, the soul doesn't become one with air. That is not correct. Because and then where does the soul, where does the child who's born come from? Where does the blind child come from? Also from the air?
No.
So you have to, this is what we spoke about, the 10 tenets of rebirth. I think we will do this one of these days. We will talk about it. We have not done this properly. I don't believe, have we done properly, Kumar Swami? The 10 tenets of rebirth, have we done like that? The 10 points of rebirth, have we done it? No, right? Samita, you remember, have we done the 10 tenets of rebirth?
No, I think we know not done.
We have done it, but not much in detail. But you have
Okay, so
told us.
it's good to do it, right? So we will, one of these days, we will take up the 10. It's called, there are 10 points. If somebody doesn't believe in rebirth, if you follow these 10 principles, you will have to believe. There is no way you cannot believe. So one of these days, we will take up the 10 tenets of rebirth. Thank you, Gautam.
And he told me that if there is no bad karma, then why human beings are born to do again bad karma?
Therefore, that is some reason for a human being to be born. No. If there's no bad karma, then why would a human being be born? Obviously, maybe good karma. Then the human being has to be rewarded. Or bad
Right.
karma of the previous life. Then he has to come back.
No, again,
Life
human being born. If
Huh?
he don't have any bad karma in this life, then again he'll born in a human being life. Then again he'll do bad karma. No.
If you have not got any karma, you will not come back. Gautam. Who comes back is only because there is karma. And everybody has karma. There is nobody in this world who doesn't have karma. Anybody who's alive will have karma, good or bad.
Okay.
Unless we realize that we are not the doer of action. Unless we realize I am not the body, I am not me, M-E, mind and ego, then only we are liberated from karma. And somebody told me, I know I am not me, I know I am not me. And the next moment is telling, hello, I want a new Honda City car. Why you are not giving me? Why you are putting me second priority? Just now you told you are not me. You are fighting for the Honda City car. So saying is not enough. In practice, being able to live a life is a challenge.
Okay. Shall I ask a second question?
Yes, you can.
So second question is, should we listen to the parents because my mother will be going on telling me that we have to listen to parents so that your research will be your research will be become true. Whatever you do, that will be true. Those whatever they say, but anyhow, I respect my parents. They are God to me.
Yeah.
So what your
You-
suggestion to me? Should I listen to my parents?
You bring your mother for Zoom call. You ask your mother to ask some questions.
But they are not interested in enlightenment. So what your connection to me? I have to listen
So
or I have to not listen?
yeah. So if you are interested in enlightenment and if you listen to your mother, then you will become a champion in the material world. Then you will come back again and again and again. So if you want to come back again and again, then you have to listen to your mother. But
No, I don't want to-
you know the answer, right?
Yeah.
If suppose
But
tomorrow you tell, I don't want to die, but I want to meet a Taliban in Afghanistan, then what happens? Then if you go to Afghanistan, then you have to face the Taliban. No.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So Jyotri's questions have started. What is more important, helping others, serving the poor, and thinking about others, or to think about ourselves and attaining enlightenment? My dear Jyotri, helping others, serving the poor, and enlightenment are the same thing. They are not two different things. Because probably we do not know the meaning of enlightenment. We think serving poor is separate, enlightenment is separate. No. Serving the poor is being enlightened that God lives in the poor. Shiv Jnani Jan Seva, विवेकानंद ने ये कहा, दुखियों की सेवा जो करता वही शिव को पाता. So Jyotri, if you know Hindi, you follow what I'm saying. Service to humanity is prayer to God. Service to humanity is realization of the truth that God is in the poor. Every poor person on the street is God, as a manifestation of God. So we have to understand there is no difference between serving the poor and praying to God. So we say serving humanity is equal to prayer. So that is the answer. Okay? Next.
Dattatreya.
Dattatreya. Sir.
Sure.
Shivoham.
It is a comment about today's question.
Yes, sir.
About life. There should be high spiritual goal for life. Without goal, there is no meaning for life. Just I have decided the union with God. It's my goal. तो ऐसा गोल है तो ही जीवन में मजा है जीवन है. Yes.
So that is your goal of life, right?
Yes.
That is a very good thing, Dattatreya. Just today only I had a call with one of the seekers today, a personal call. And he said, I seek nothing. Oh Lord, only give me mukti. I don't want anything. I only want moksha. I think you're also telling the same thing.
Yeah.
What are you praying
Yes,
for?
sir.
Are you praying for money and material wealth, or are you praying for moksha?
Only moksha. Only God. Union with God.
So then you have to keep on singing that song, which is praying to God all the time. प्रभु
Okay.
मैं चाहूं तेरी कृपा, इस जग से मुझे आके मुक्त करा दो. You keep on telling God, please liberate me, please liberate me. Oh Lord, I seek you, I want you. I don't want anything else. I just want you, oh Lord. This is the prayer that should be on our lips. Is the prayer on our lips all the time? If the prayer is not on our lips, suppose we are telling God, I want another beautiful wife, please give me. Then God will think we want material world. Oh God, I want gold. I want 1 extra kilo of gold. because I want, oh God, there's no money in my bank. I'm feeling insecure. God, give me money. People are praying for different things, right? Somebody is telling, oh Lord, my son has got no children. I have no grandchildren. Please, Lord, give my son a child. People are praying all these things.
Correct.
Kumar Swami, question. Next, please.
Sir Shivam, Guruji.
Shubham, Kumar Swami.
Life is a beautiful gift, no doubt in that. We have a choice to up that life by understanding the purpose of the life, to realize ourselves and to realize the God, and to get the moksha is only the ultimate. So to here my small question, sir. After this, this is my idea, and the small question: for realization of the self and realization of the God, it is free will or not?
Of course, it is free will. The only challenge is one, Kumar Swami. For one person, it is a free will with comfortable circumstances. With somebody, it is a free will with challenging circumstances. Suppose Gautam was telling you in the call, my mother is telling, don't want enlightenment. My mother is telling you, you go and do business. My mother is telling, run the shop. My mother is so then that person has a free will. But is it easy, Kumar Swami, for him to do it? Daily the parents are going on forcing. Daily the parents are forcing. Enlightenment is nonsense. It is rubbish. Don't want enlightenment. Don't want moksha. Don't want mukti. Leave it. Rubbish. Don't want. Then how to do, Kumar Swami?
Now, sir, whoever is seeking very seriously also, is it free will?
Absolutely.
Because
it is a no, I can't hear you very well.
What I have given is the self-realization of free will. God kripa, God, agar that is a God का कृपा है तो ही तुम्हारे को मिलेगा.
No. When somebody asks God, is it only because of your kripa we will get realization? You know what God gave answer?
Okay.
God gave the answer. The sun is shining on everybody.
Yes.
Sun is shining on everybody. If you are hiding inside your bedroom, I cannot help it. If you are hiding inside your bedroom, then don't tell there is no kripa. Kripa is there for everybody. Sun shines on everybody. So what, Kumar Swami, what you are saying, let us understand step by step. Point one, it is free will. Suppose I do not have a will for self-realization, I have no interest, then will I do it? Then you know I cannot do it. Suppose I want to do it, then what are the 4 doors? Discrimination, using the vivek, dispassion, being detached, discipline, and desire for divine. All these are the prerequisites. You need these points to attain self-realization and God realization. You get my point, Kumar Swami? Without this, you cannot attain. But is it a free will?
I will put my efforts because free will is there. I am putting efforts. But because of the last Janma karmas, there is any complication will take place in the journey?
No chance. The past karma cannot stop you from enlightenment. The past karma can only make it slightly difficult. I hope you're getting my point. The past karma may create some bottleneck. The past karma may give some resistance. But the past karma cannot stop you from self-realization and God realization.
Okay, sir, one more question here.
Yes, sir.
See, the after self-realization, God realization, why it is taking long time? Maximum I have seen third. In that connection only, I asked the previous question.
Let me explain to you. Self-realization, when it is complete, Kumar Swami, when it is complete, no, that becomes automatically start of God realization. But when self-realization is not yet fully complete, see, self-realization is a journey from like this, from one side to the other side. So suppose we realize I am the divine soul, but the mind is still not agreeing. The ego is still troubling. The senses are still troubling, little. Sometimes they are troubling, not all the time. Sometimes they are troubling. But when self-realization, what it comes? Main ek atma, main paramatma. When aham brahmasmi, when that becomes full, then that becomes the starting of God realization. If I realize you are not Kumar Swami, if I realize you are the Atma and Kumar Swami, how will I see you? I will see you as not as Kumar Swami. I will refer to you as the Atma. When I say Shivoham means I see you as Shiva. That is God realization. No, Kumar Swami. What is God realization?
God,
yes. What is God realization?
God is there in everywhere. That's
exactly.
The realization.
How will you see? How will you think like that? How does how will that happen?
So, because I am also feeling inside the God already, I am
Correct.
experienced. With that connection only, I am relating that others also having the same.
Exactly. So it is like if you are climbing a building which has got no lift, you think like this: the building has got no lift. Can you reach the 5th floor without reaching the 3rd floor?
Okay, sir. If that is the case, if I realize myself, everybody is having the Atma. But it is not the God's realization. It has to be further moved to realize the God.
When you realize you
further
are
moved to realize.
Yeah, when you realize I am not the body, mind, ego, I am the divine soul, that leads you to thinking even Samhita is God, even Motkula Anand is God, even Krishna Sharma is God, everybody is God. Then you start thinking the bird singing. No, when the bird sings, you don't think you know the bird, you think it's God. You experience God everywhere in everything. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. But that will take time. It's not in one day. It can't happen in one day, Kumar Swami. It is like saying I'm putting the water for cooking to make tea, and within 1 second I want hot water. No, hot water will take time to boil.
To cycle time is there.
Yeah.
And in the self-realization, the ego will be there. Earlier, I was argued with you, it is not there. But I realized that ego will be there in the self-realization.
Till you die.
Diluted form only it will be there. Because if it doesn't have ego, there will not be a desire of moksha. If you drop the ego, desire will drop immediately. There will not be this desire. If you are not doing desire means you are not going to whom you will ask for moksha. So that's much that ego will be there in the self-realization. It will dissolve in the God's realization automatically. It will dissolve at the time of God's realization only.
Even in self-realization, the ego will be there, but we will transcend it. We will go beyond. We will say ego is there, but I am not the ego. Ego is there. Mind is there, but I am not the mind and ego. I am not that. I am the consciousness. You go beyond the mind and ego. You get it? You're getting the point, Kumar Swami?
But without ego, the desire will not be there of moksha. Then one desire, the self-realized person will have that one desire of that. That desire is because of ego only.
That is the desire because of the consciousness. That desire is not because of the ego. That is the desire of the consciousness.
But consciousness doesn't have desire and all. Aapko malum hai. Consciousness doesn't have anything. It is not.
Kumar Swami, that time the mind and the ego becomes feeble. They become your slave. You use the me to seek. You use that me to seek liberation. It is not the samsaric. The samsaric ego is no more existing. Correct. It is therefore the controlled me. The me is then under the control of the consciousness.
Yes. This is
okay now.
No.
Now you're agreeing, no?
No agree.
Thank you, Shiva.
Earlier, I argued with that there was no ego after enlightenment, self-enlightenment. I argued that I was yesterday. I got the answer for that. Yes, no, it will be there. It will be in diluted position. After God's realization, it will be dissolved in the this total.
When we attain moksha, that disappears. It completely dissolves. But as long as we are alive, we have spoken about this. The mind and ego cannot be dead as long as the human being is alive. As long as the human being is alive, it may be dormant, like a volcano. Active volcano is different. Dormant volcano is different. It becomes a dormant volcano. It becomes controlled.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Kumar Swami. Jyotri, how to go beyond karma? How to go beyond karma? Who will answer? Anybody wants to answer? Anybody in this group wants to answer how to go beyond karma?
Sir,
With
neti neti.
realization.
Who wants to answer? Yes, Avinash.
Yeah, neti neti, sir. Once we understand and start implementing neti neti, it's beyond karma. Yeah, that's the
No,
I think.
but how can we go beyond karma?
In neti neti, I am not me. I am not my karma. So yeah,
No,
we go and become consciousness like a part of awareness. So where the karma will exist then?
Then who's doing the karma?
Right
But
now
you're
it's
still-
me. Right now it's mind and ego. That me identity is doing the karma. So neti neti will drop that identity, and that's how karma
Very
will
good.
be dissolved.
So
Yes.
when you are
Yeah.
when neti, you know you are not the body, you are not the mind. Correct, Avinash?
Correct.
But still
Yes.
you are walking, talking, eating, drinking, transacting. Then who is doing the karma?
So that is what even so that understand that it's happening. Like I am not doing, and
Who's doing? Who's doing?
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
Ashok
it-
Chotwani.
yeah, continue. Yes.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, we are instrument of God.
Very
We
good.
are
Very-
not doing the karma. Yeah.
Very good, Ashok Chotwani. So combination of Avinash and Ashok got the answer, Jyotri. The way to overcome karma is to realize I am not the body doing the karma. I am not even the mind and ego directing the karma. So then that's called neti neti, as you told by Avinash. Then as Ashok Chotwani said, I am only the instrument of God. Avinash note, right? I am only the instrument of God. Therefore, I am not doing the karma. God is doing the karma through me. मैं एक बांसुरी प्रभु कुछ भी नहीं, संगीत है तेरा मैं कुछ भी नहीं, मैं तो कुछ भी ना करता, जो भी करता मैं लगता मैं करता, सच में सब कुछ तू करता. The reality is, Jyotri, we do nothing. We are only instruments. But as long as the ego is alive, Kumar Swami note, as long as the ego is alive, I think I am doing. I am Kumar Swami. What do you think? Huh? I am doing. The moment the ego comes alive, then neti neti goes for a toss. Then karma becomes ours. Jyotri, the karma becomes ours. And because of karma, we will be reborn. As long as there is reborn, as long as there's karma, you will be reborn. And if you want moksha, we have to be free from karma. Jyotri's question, how can I be free from karma? By realizing I am not the doer of action. Neither am I the body, neti neti, nor am I the mind. Right? Tattvamasi, thou art that. Thou art that, I am that, the divine soul. So my dear friends, although it was I wanted it to be an easy Sunday evening, we got some profound questions and answers. And the last question from Jyotri is a very important question. How can we be free from karma? The most important question of life. The most important question of life. How can I be free from karma? Huh? By being a karma yogi. Jyotri, when you become a karma yogi, nishkam karma, you become a person who has got no desire of the fruit of action because it is not my action. What Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, Arjuna, surrender it to me. So you surrender all action to the divine lotus feet of the divine. And then it is not your karma. You are not the karta. And because you are not the karta, you will not be the bhokta. You will not be born and you will be liberated and united with God. My dear friends, every day, today I wanted something different to come up and luckily something different came up. Every day we have a new perspective of question and answers. Every day, the journey towards enlightenment is very clear. Life is a special gift. Are you making your life lift? It means, are you wasting your life in samsara? Are you just living a mundane life? Living, eating, drinking, and one day you will die. Is that what your life is all about? Or are you moving onto that path? Many people don't realize they are just wasting their life. Their life is just so ordinary, so mundane, it is meaningless. One day they will die. And then, do they realize it? They will come back. The cycle of death and rebirth, it goes on and on and on. Our goal is to be free from this. That is why today's statement, why I accepted today's statement. Life is a beautiful gift. Are you making your life lift? Are you raising the consciousness? Are you making the consciousness go higher and higher? Transcending the body in the senses, transcending the mind and ego, living in that state of divine bliss in Satchit Anand, living as a yogi. With that thought, I leave you for a Sunday evening introspection. Looking forward to your divine presence tomorrow. I bow down. Shivoham. See you tomorrow.